Hey everybody, welcome back to Faraday Research. I'm doing another video today. So, as you've seen in the last video, I was able to get this incandescent 25 watt bulb lit up. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get the power consumption down. So what did I do? I added the second spark gap. Now I can also separate these two and create a third spark gap. So when I was doing this test, I was able to get the voltage from 12 volts down to 9 volts. And instead of hovering at 1 amp, I'm getting it down to 0.6 amps now. So I'm going to show you. It's going to be a little loud, so I'm not going to talk when I do the test, but I'll show you the number of the load. And this is it. Okay, so we got 9.4 volts at 0.58 amps, so just over half an amp. All right, and there's the bulb lit up. So I'm consuming less power on the input. So the spark gap is definitely helping out. Now I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to let it power down so I don't freaking zap myself. All right. I am good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate and create this third spark gap. So I'm going to just put it about there, about 1.5 millimeters. Now you can see the incandescent light bulb kind of pulsating a bit. Now if I jump up the voltage, see it's 9 volts at 0.6 amps. Now if I pump it up to 11 volts, I'm pulling only 7 amps, and normally I was pulling almost an amp. And you can see the light's pretty bright. So as you can see, the spark gap is definitely helping the output of the coil. So I think I gotta do two things. I gotta step it up on my coil, and then I gotta redesign a better spark gap. Maybe have multiple spark gaps, like 3 or 4 in series, and that will really make this thing start ringing. Because I'm lighting, that's 25 watt. I know it's not fully lit up. I would say it's about half. But the fact is, it is pulling enough amperage to actually get those elements glowing. Because this is not an LED bulb. This is a pure 25 watt bulb. These are the ones that you put in your refrigerator. So, yeah, I think that's what it all boils down to. If I want to get highest potential of AC output on this thing, I have to really step up this coil. I think that's pretty well a no-brainer at this point. So, and also the spark gap. The second I added that second spark gap, it really changed the dynamics. It really brought the amperage down. So, I'm saying something magical happens with that spark gap. It's somehow pulling in radiant energy. It's getting that extra power from somewhere, because I already know what this coil will do. So now I'm getting more power out of this with less voltage and less input, because I'm adding the extra spark gap there. So I'm telling you, okay, yeah, it's hard to adjust and get the frequencies just right, but if you take the extra time and do it, you could get a really excellent result and really step up the voltage and potential that's coming out. Even the current too. I think this is adding current to the system, and it shows because when I had the single spark gap, I had to crank it at 12 volts, and it was pulling almost an amp of input. Now I can get it down to 9 volts, and at 0.6 amps, or 0.58, 0.59 amps, half an amp, and I'm doing the same work. So obviously this combination here is important. That's becoming very, very self-evident. So yeah, this is kind of exciting. So yeah, give me your comments below. Peter, yeah, give me a comment. Give me some input, any ideas or whatever. But I think I'm on to something. I think I'm going in the right direction. Now I got to get somehow, not even this. Now I have to be able to kind of store it in capacitors. But, those capacitors, they release really fast. So I'll get like a huge amount of flashing going on. I might actually put stress on the system itself. So I'll have to experiment with that. I got the small ones. I got the small high voltage caps. I think these are 10 kVA, and then I got the big ones. These guys here, those are 15 kVA. So yeah, I think I'm on to something. I'll just show you one more time. So I'll put it at 9 volts. Okay, so 9 volts at half an amp, give or take. And I'm getting it running. See, it's fluctuating a bit because the spark gap is not 100%. But crank it up to say 11. That's 11 and 0.7. It's way lower than before. And I'm getting a pretty consistent, yeah. Yeah, I like what I see. So yeah, give me your comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Patreon's there. My Bitcoin donations there. And we'll see everybody soon.